In the Bahamas, the incident on Abaco has raised eyebrows, particularly as Bahamians would have gotten involved in a physical altercation with visitors to our shores. Asked if there is any level of concern between residents and visitors getting into altercations, Tourism, Investments and Aviation Minister, Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper, while not wanting to speak specifically to the incidents that took place, he says they are under investigation, so he didn't want to do that, but he did admit that he is concerned about the incident.
From time to time, there are random incidences across the country, and wherever there's one undesirable incident, whether it's a fight or anything else between locals or between locals and tourists, I am concerned. So certainly we are in the people business, and we are concerned about the health and safety of our residents, as well as the health and safety of the tourists who visit our shores. I have no specific comment on the issue in Abaco, and I invite you to refer that question to the Commissioner of Police.
A week ago today, a massive fire completely destroyed Bahamas Power and Light power plant, Nicholstown, Andros, which housed 4 diesel engines. It left residents on North Andros without electricity. As of Tuesday afternoon, 90% of residents now have power. BPL officials in a statement say they have subsequently or substantially restored supply to the customers on North Andros. Minister of Public Works and Utilities Alfred Sayers is assuring the remaining 10% of residents without electricity that they should be restored by Thursday.
I can tell you, based on the reports I have gotten, 90% of the power has been restored due to the extraordinary intervention of BPL. They have acquired new engines from M&E. They have transferred engines out of Exuma. And as of present, 80% of the homes and residents in North Andros have power. Now, the 10%, there have been load sharing, and I am advised that by tomorrow, which is Thursday, that 10%, they're working very hard to get that last 10% online full-time.
Until the system is stabilized, BPL will continue to load share, but only 10% of the customers will experience periods of supply interruptions in 4-hour intervals. BPL has acknowledged that it faced several challenges creating a new generation infrastructure for the North Andros community, but they remain committed to normalizing operations as soon as possible. Minister Sayers confirms that a faulty emergency generator was shipped to Andros, and there was an issue with water in a shipment of fuel that caused further delays in restoration.
And in my communication in Parliament today, we disclosed that fuel that was sent contained water, and that also contributed to the challenges that BPL's personnel had on the ground as they were trying to assemble this temporary supply of electricity for North Andros. What I can say is that a fault was identified and is being addressed, and that some of the fuel that was delivered was contaminated and had to be replaced.
Minister Sayers, during a communication in the House of Assembly today, advised that repairs to restore BPL in North Andros will cost approximately $600,000. Members of Parliament returned to the House of Assembly this morning, and during the reading of bills and communication segment of the proceedings, the member for Centerville, Jomo Campbell, addressed the sexual assault of an elderly woman in his constituency this week.
Before I begin, please permit me to publicly express my shock and profound sadness on learning that an 82-year-old resident of my constituency was recently sexually assaulted in a home. She lives just 6 houses north of my grandmother on Montrose Avenue. However, I'm pleased to advise, Madam Speaker, that the suspect in relation to this matter has been in police custody. sometime around yesterday afternoon. So I would like to thank Royal Bahamas Police Force, and in particular, the officers of the Northeastern Division. Madam Speaker, while this matter is under active police investigation, I wish to be careful with my comments. However, let me state for the record, and I'm sure that all of my colleagues will agree with me on this, that sexual assault, Madam Speaker, has no place in our society. And we have zero tolerance for this type of sick and ugly behavior. No Bahamian, male, or even female for that instance, should think it is normal or acceptable to be a sexual abuser towards anyone, especially an 82-year-old precious pearl. As Bahamian men, let us learn to love and cherish our Bahamian women. And as Bahamian women, likewise. The statistics on suicide in the Bahamas over the past few years show that several young Bahamians under the age of 30 have committed suicide. The causes of suicide are complex and often determined by multiple factors. These factors can consist of depression, family history, physical illness, childhood trauma, and more. Experts also pinpoint issues that aggravate the risks, such as loss of loved ones and the influence of social media on teens. These cell phones, Madam Speaker, whilst they are good to have, can also be bad in the wrong hands or being used by the wrong mindset.
And finally, in this segment, the Water and Sewage Corporation, in collaboration with the Ministry of Works and Utilities, signed two multi-million-dollar contracts this morning for improvements on the water supply to the Exumas. Our Destiny Johnson has more in this next report.
Two contracts totaling $9.1 million were signed today by the Water and Sewage Corporation to extend pipe portable water to the residents of Lil Exuma and Alexander Baratari Exuma for the first time, and to provide major water supply improvements to Georgetown. Minister of Works and Utilities Alfred Sayers gives the details of the first contract with Baker Construction Company that has already begun and is estimated to be completed in 230 calendar days.
Apply, install, test, and commission 45,000 feet or 8.5 miles of new water mains to serve the communities of Little Exuma, including the provision for new water service connections for 425 homes and businesses at the contract price of $4,417,418.88. The existing water supply system presently stops at Roll Town with a separate small water distribution system in Williamstown. This project will entail extending the system from Roll Town eastward to serve the communities of Hartswell, the Ferry, Forbes Hill, and into Williamstown. The contractor has fully mobilized with his equipment and material now at his project compound on Exuma.
The second contract is with Rowdy Boys Construction, with construction anticipated to be completed in 180 calendar days.
To supply, install, test, and commission 16,000 feet or a little over 3 miles of water mains replacements, including the replacement of 200 water service connections to homes and businesses in the Georgetown area. The contract scope also includes the provision of 32,650 feet or 6.2 miles of new water mains to serve the communities of Alexander and Baratari, including the provision of 130 water service connections for homes and businesses. The total contract price is $4,678,044.38.
Minister Sayers goes on to say that these works will be in conjunction with ongoing road paving with the Ministry of Works on Exuma to ensure that the required underground infrastructure is installed, tested, and commissioned prior to road paving works. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Parliament for Exuma, Chester Cooper, reminisced on his days living on Exuma with no running water and expressed sincere thanks to the minister and the corporation for this historic occasion.
This is a significant improvement in the way of life of the people in these communities, and it demonstrates to them that they have not been forgotten. So this is extremely significant for the residents, but also for the growth of all of these areas.